All right, welcome to another Whiteboard Training Thursday. Today I'm talking about resumes. I'm going to go through the top things you need to know for 2020 for your industry resume so you can get hired in industry. We're doing a full webinar on this next Thursday, January 9th. I'll put a link above this video after the live version is over so you can sign up early. Okay, number one, 3 formats. We've talked about this a little bit. We're really going to focus on it during next week's webinar. You need to create 3 formats of your resume in 2020. Here's the good news. After you create the first format, the second 2 are very easy. Let's say you're just learning about industry resumes. You might be thinking that your academic CV is okay for a resume. It's not. It has to be 2 pages. The first format, we call it the gold standard resume format. It's a 2-page resume format that starts with the professional summary, not an objective statement. From there, it goes into your work experience, and then your education and beyond. So this format we're going to discuss next week during our webinar, but you have to consolidate your resume to those 2 pages. Start with your professional summary, which is your 3 biggest career highlights. Go to your work experience, and then you can talk about your education, your technical skills, and extracurriculars. The second format is a functional resume. So basically you take your 2-page resume and you make it functional. How do you do that? Instead of using a chronological order in your work experience, you talk about the most relevant things that you've done. I'll give you an example. Many PhDs have spent the last 10 years at least in academia, which means your work experience is something like postdoctoral researcher or graduate research assistant. Employers see this and they think no experience whatsoever. They throw your resume in the trash. Or it goes into the applicant tracking system software. It doesn't recognize those keywords as important. Your resume goes in the trash. So a functional resume helps you get around this. Instead of focusing on your academic job titles, which nobody in industry cares about, you say project management. You focus on a skill. Project management, underneath it you say gained as a graduate research assistant or gained as a postdoctoral researcher. We'll discuss this again next week, January 9th, on our new 2020 resume webinar. Third and finally, turn your 2-page functional resume into a 1-page sidebar resume. Sidebar resumes are very popular now. They're great for most positions. There's only a few positions where you wouldn't want to use a sidebar resume. What is a sidebar resume? You take 2 pages, you put it onto 1 page by having a sidebar that has your skills, the professional summary in it, and then the main portion of that first page and the only page is your work experience. We're going to go over this in the resume webinar as well. Number 2, transferable skills. As PhDs, we obsess over our technical skills, niche technical skills that don't really matter in industry. Having technical know-how, knowing how to learn new technical skills is important, but every company has their own way of doing a Western blot or cell culture or programming or whatever type of job you're trying to get into. They have their own way of doing it. So having some niche technical skill is not as important as the larger transferable skills, which I'm going to talk about later, that you have that allow you to learn the technical skills quickly. Most PhDs don't consider transferable skills because they sound too basic, like time management. Yet employers, especially the frontline employers, hiring managers, recruiters who don't have PhDs, really care about this. So make a list of these transferable skills that are relevant for the position that you want and lead with your transferable skills. Every bullet point on your resume, no matter which format you're using, should start with a transferable skill. Collaboration is a transferable skill. Project management is a transferable skill. Research is a transferable skill. Learning quickly is a transferable skill. Data or information analysis, key transferable skills employers are looking for, but you're not putting them on your resume. You have to. Number 3, quantify your results, as in use a numerical value. 10, don't write out 10, T-E-N, put the number 10, okay? People's eyes stop on numbers. The applicant tracking system software pauses on numbers. That's right, it values numbers so that your resume will get into the hands of a person. It's very important to do. Systems, discoveries, collaborations. Too many PhDs think, I don't have a nature or science paper or cell paper or whatever, or I haven't given any big presentations. So I'm not even going to discuss those here. I'll discuss them on our resume webinar next week. But here, think about the systems, the protocols, methodologies, lesson plans. In business, those are called systems. They allow systems to scale. They're critical. You have them, quantify them. What methodologies, protocols have you innovated or optimized? Discoveries, that's a result. What discoveries do you have and what are they related to? That's innovation. And then collaborations, teamwork, collaborating with the lab down the hall or another classroom. Anyone, collaborative work, especially in large projects, really matters. We're going to talk about that next week too. Number 4, differentiate yourself. This is something new that we're going to talk a lot more about. It's becoming more and more important in the competitive industry job market. Okay, what differentiates you as a PhD? Have you thought about that? PhD hiring is the highest it's ever been. You're very valuable, but you're likely invisible to employers because you're not differentiating yourself. Think about it. Why are you a more valuable job candidate than somebody else? Number 1, your ability to do research. Have you ever seen a non-PhD do research? It's embarrassing, okay? Your ability to collect and gather relevant, important information on a topic, it's a skill. You probably don't realize that. Put research down on your resume, communicate it over and over again. Information collection, data collection, that's research. Number 2, information data analysis, being able to analyze that information quickly. Number 3, information processing, the ability to learn quickly. Huge advantage. You have to talk about this not just on your resume, but your LinkedIn profile, during your entire job search. And then finally, innovation. Your ability to push a field forward. You've gone beyond mastering a field, that's a master's degree, to pushing a field forward. Have you talked about this? Are you stressing your ability to innovate, to be creative? Number 6, keywords. Word clouds, keyword tools. Copy and paste entire job postings, put them into a word cloud. We invented this at Cheeky Scientist. It's a great hack. We've been talking about it for years. Do it. The word cloud will show you which words are used the most. That's the way to quantitatively analyze a job posting, but also qualitatively review job posting to see what they're saying is important. Sometimes the very first line, the very last line says this skill is crucial. Even if you don't have that skill, talk about a skill that you have that's relevant to that skill. Number 7, target, target, target. One resume per one job, make it highly targeted, as specific as possible to that job posting, to the informational interview insights that you got. Make sure that the resume reflects that. Take everything that you can do, put everything you can into every resume for one single position. Make sure it's very relevant and don't bury the lead, okay? Whatever they're saying is the most important for that job, put at the top. If you don't have that exact skill, that's okay. Instead, talk about the skills you have that are relevant or how fast you can learn, your ability to do research, your ability to process information quickly, so no matter what they need you to do, you can do it because you have a PhD. Go above to the link that I'm going to put after this video, click on it, register for our very special brand new 2020 resume webinar happening next Thursday, January 9th, 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be there delivering it live. Make sure you sign up. There's only 500 seats, so go sign up now. Remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.